Hello, dear student friends. This is Dr. Vijay Maknikar, Assistant Professor in Law, Sri Shivaji Law College, Parbhani, and I once again welcome you in this online video lecture series. In the last lecture, we have gone through the concept of risk, which is important under insurance contract. So, what we understood is risk is nothing but uncertainty of financial losses, and the insurance contract that aim to indemnify the losses that have been caused due to the risk. Rather, we can say that the insurance contract try to provide a protection against the risk. Today, we'll see certain elements of risk. Friends, there are certain factors which have potential to enhance the gravity of a risk. They can be considered as elements of risk. As far as the life policy is concerned, habits in the life of a person, mode of living of such person that can be considered as element of risk, because the life expectancy depends upon certain things, and in brief we can call them as elements of risk, and one of such element is habits in the life of such a person. As we know, the habits and the hobbies like car racing, mountaineering, and sort of adventurism that exposes the life of a person to more dangers of the death. Hence, it is an element of risk which is taken into account in the life policy. Similarly, the life expectancy of a person also depends upon certain factors that are age, sex, height, and weight of the person, and therefore they are also called as elements of risk. Similarly, the occupation is also related with life expectancy of a person. Sometimes the person is involved in the occupation like aviation. He might be a pilot or a crew member of a plane, or sometimes a person may be involved in the occupational activities as far as the electrical and chemical industry is concerned, and thereby he is more exposed to the danger of the death. So the occupation is also considered as an element of a risk. Friends, alcohol intake causes damage to the liver of a person. Therefore, it is also considered as an element of a risk. Similarly, life expectancy also depends upon the position and the status of the person in the life, sometimes his character and the environmental factors. So that is also considered as an element of risk. And the position and status is important for insurance contract in order to determine the potential or the capacity of a person to pay the premium. Then the medical history of a person. If the medical history of the person is not good one, if he is suffering from the ailments like the diseases like diabetic, the heart problems, then certainly that invites more danger to his life. So his medical history as well as the medical history of his family members is also considered as an element of a risk. There are certain persons who require to travel frequently to the foreign countries, and that is also exposing them to the danger of the death. So it is also considered as travel, a kind of frequency of foreign travel is considered as an element of risk. Now we'll see what are the elements of risk under the property insurance. Friends, nature of the property, if it is movable, immovable, whether it is perishable or prone to the fire. So that nature of property is also considered as element of a risk under property insurance. Sometimes the composition, constitution of the property is as such, it is exposed to the risk, danger of getting lost. So that is also considered as an element of risk under the property insurances. Sometimes the constitution or the composition of the property is as such, it may be having problem with regarding to the handling. So if it is a glass, it is quite difficult to handle it. So on the basis of constitution, we can consider particular subject matter, the element of risk we can determine accordingly. In case of marine insurance, voyage and its nature is considered as an element of risk. Sometimes the route of voyage and that invites various sea perils that are responsible for the loss of the subject matter. Hence, voyage and its nature is considered as an element of risk under marine insurance. Nature of winds and the storms in the route of voyage are also exposing the subject matter to the loss or sometimes an accident. Therefore, they constitute as element of risk. The pirates as well as the mutiny by crew is also considered as an element of risk. Sometimes insurrection of natives and the dangerous coasts are also responsible for the losses of the subject matter. Hence, they are considered as elements of risk in marine insurance. Now you see friends, when the risk commences, commencement of risk. Commencement of risk is determined in the context of the agreement. So we can also say that when the risk has to commence, it is a matter of an agreement. At the same time, the risk commences as soon as the insurable interest is exposed to the insured peril. Similarly, as soon as the legally binding contract between the parties, that is insurer and insured, comes into existence, the risk commences. At the same time, we can say that as soon as the policy bond is issued, the risk commences. We have to take also into account the risk commences from the date and the time of issue of the policy. Now we'll see whether the risk can be altered or what will happen if the risk is altered. Alteration of risk. Friends, as we know, any material change in the risk between the policy period exempts the insurer from the liability of payment. If there is any kind of alteration when the policy protection is going on, and in between, if there is any kind of alteration with regard to subject matter or material change, that would lead to the exemption of liability of insurer from payment if at all a loss is caused out of such alteration. Second thing is that insured may have right to alter the risk provided he serves due notice to the insurer and gets subsequent acceptance from him. So it is important the insurance contracts that are governed by utmost good faith, and accordingly it is, we have to understand the duty of the insured to get the acceptance first before going to alter the risk. Without that, there will not be any kind of liability upon the insurer. High premium is charged if the assured wants the risk to be altered and subsequently that has been accepted by the insurer. Now we'll see what is the duration of the risk. It is said that a contract of insurance is incomplete if the duration is not fixed. If the duration has not been referred in the words, then it may be inferred as per the usages. So in order to determine the duration, we have to take into also account the usages if the words are not clear with regard to the duration. Under general insurance policies like fire, burglary, accident, the duration of risk is generally of 1 year. The duration of insurance policy may also be inferred from the previous contract of insurance between the parties. Or we can say that when, in case of a motor vehicle, generally it is the period of 1 year. So accordingly, if it is to be renewed, then the 1 year period will be interpreted as the duration of the risk. If the policy is expressed to be in force till specified date, the risk continues till the end of that day. This is what an important thing. If the policy is to be renewed on a particular date, it cannot be said that the policy would not be in force in the whole of that day. So these are certain factors which are talking about duration of risk. And then lastly, the contract also, insurance contract itself mentions the duration, sometimes from and to. So the duration is fixed in the insurance contract itself. Now we'll see how the risk terminates. It also could be considered as attachment of risk. The risk terminates or gets attached if, number one, specified uncertain event or peril causes loss during the continuance of the insurance contract. If the policy is going on, protection going on, and the insured peril causes loss during that period, then ultimately with the loss of that proper subject matter, the risk is attached. Sometimes, if the specified term or duration of the insurance contract expires, ultimately the risk is terminated. Generally, in case of yearly contracts like a property insurance or vehicle insurance, as soon as the period ends, the risk is terminated. Sometimes, if it is a breach of warranty on the part of insured, the risk gets terminated. Now we'll see one case law, Kelly versus Norwich Union Fire Insurance Society Limited. What happened in this case? The issue before the court was indemnification on damage to building caused by burst of water. So the burst of water, whether the property that was damaged due to the burst of water and whether that insurer is liable to pay the damages. This was the issue before the court. What happened? In the insurance contract, one of the clause of indemnification was events occurring during the period of insurance. So certainly the insurance contract guarantees the indemnification only then if the event that is causing loss happens during the period of policy. But we have to take into account what happened in this case, that the burst of water that occurred before the policy could commence, that was basic issue. The person paid the premium, that was not an issue. But before the acceptance and formal commencement of or conclusion of the contract, the loss was caused due to the burst of water, and therefore there was leakage and that caused damage to the building. Accordingly, the court held that the peril occurred before the policy commenced. So the policy was not commenced, and even before the commencement of such policy, the event happened. Therefore, the company is not liable to pay the damages caused by burst of water. Thank you.